Hey folks, Lionel here with Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts. Today we got another boot unboxing and review for you from none other than Ferrini Boots. That's right, y'all. Ferrini Boots is back on the channel. Well, let's get into it. Alright, so I just like to start by saying that Ferrini sent me these boots for the purpose of this video, but it is in our agreement that this will not impact this review in any way. So, last time we actually reviewed the Ferrini boots on this channel. The box looked exactly the same, but maybe I didn't notice it last time, but I did notice it this time. It says right here, family follows family, and it has a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter sign right here, and it says stalk us on social like your mom. So I thought that was pretty funny. Thought I'd share that with you. So they do have a good sense of humor over in Ferrini, which I like that a lot. So let's go ahead and open this box. So you got the same box with the same letter, welcome to the Ferrini family. So you got your basic, wrapping affair for the boots. So got a piece of plastic right here. Got the shaft shapers, which I really do recommend y'all save that. And you got a piece of paper right there. If you guys want to stick your foot in there, feel free to take that out. There we go. Same thing on the other boot, except that this one has a tag. So go ahead and put this on the side. Alright, so here we got a black Teju lizard boot. Last time we did a review on Ferrini boots, it was the Piruku print, which we all know Ferrini is very good at doing realistic looking prints. But these are genuine Teju lizard. They are not a print. So let's go ahead and start with the sole. Here we got a Goodyear double stitch welt on a leather sole. And one thing they did really cool with this welt is that they kind of made the side of it black all around. And then on the top, they left it natural with that white stitching. And it really makes that black lizard pop out. I think if they wouldn't have done that, they would have kind of blended in a little too much. And the fact that they did that makes it really pop out and look really nice. Now, on the bottom, you got the Ferrini sign, which is going to get scratched off as you walk with it. And the sign of a good boot is lemon wood pegs, and they've got 2 double rows of lemon wood pegs all throughout, which is really nice. You got your 1 3/4 block heel over here, so kind of a roper heel. And then they got these rubber cap that says Ferrini on it with brass nails attaching it to the block, and it is finished out really nicely. You guys can see it's a nice hard piece of leather right here. Now for the vamp, it is the Teju lizard, as I said. But one cool thing that I like about this is that it is a one-piece vamp. So I do have a Teju lizard dent post that has the pieces, so you guys can see this stitch line on the side. That's not the case with this one. On the higher end boots, you'll see that it's one piece, and I like that fact that they did that. Now, they didn't do a one piece on the counter. They did do a piece counter. But the main thing, because if you wear stacked jeans like I do, that's going to get covered up anyway. So I like the fact that they did the one piece in the front. Just kind of looks really nice. Also, one thing that I noticed is that even though the scales are pronounced, because that is Teju lizard, because it's black, it's very nice and subtle. But I don't know if it's the stain that they use or whatever it is, but it is not as deep as some of my other Teju Lizard boots that I have. It is nice and soft. So I'm not sure if it has something to do with the staining on it, but that's one thing that I noticed. Now, one thing that I do love about Teju Lizard is on the side where the scales kind of get a little bit smaller, you see a little bit of vascularity, or what I like to call vascularity, and that is these lines. And that just kind of shows, that they are an authentic Teju lizard. It kind of shows that it was an animal at some point. You can see it a little bit better on this side here. Now, I had a caramel color Teju lizard boot that it was much more pronounced, but that's just basically due to the hide that it was, or the color. You could see it a little bit better. With the black, you're not going to see it as much, so it is going to be a little bit more of a subtle looking exotic. Kind of got a best of both worlds with that. That's what I liked about it. That's why I wanted to go with the black. I'm sure in their lighter color boot, which I think they have a cigar color one, you could see it a little bit more. Now, one thing that I had Ferrini, or I had a complaint about with Ferrini, was the counter. I thought their counter was a little bit on the weaker side, and I thought maybe on their exotic it was going to be a little bit better, but I could still feel that the counter is soft, and it's something that Ferrini could definitely work on. I don't know with the amount of time that I'll be wearing this boot, being that it is an exotic, and sometimes I don't wear my exotics as much. I might not wear it as much, but I feel like they could definitely use a stronger counter. It's definitely not the softest that I felt, but it is, something that in my last review, I actually crushed it because the instep was a little tight. So I think that's something that they could work on, and I hope they do. I'm not sure, maybe on their higher end boot, if that is something that is a little bit better. Now, onto the shaft. The shaft is a really nice looking shaft. It's a 13-inch shaft, so standard Cowboy shaft. And then you got this kind of a bone white, like an off-white, with gray on the stitching here. And it's got a pretty cool looking design right there. I'll just come around. I think those two colors work really well, being that it's kind of like a bone white with the gray. Works really nice with that boot. Now, a lot of companies are using a piece of the vamp, so whatever material the vamp is made out of, in this case Teju lizard, they'll stick it on the outer lay on the pull tab and put it right here. Now, that looks like a print to me. I should have confirmed it, but maybe if y'all are going to call in to order this boot, you guys could confirm it. But the pull tab does kind of look a little bit like a print, but I'm not sure. It could just be Teju lizard from another part of the body. But to me, it just kind of looks a little bit different than your traditional Teju lizard. Could be a print, could also be from another part of the body, as I said. So it really does look like a really nice looking shaft. Now, on the inside, they went ahead and went with kind of like a brown tan on the inside. The other one was sort of a green. This is going to be a brown. I like the green, but the brown does look nice and luxurious also. And they did a on the inside right here, they did kind of the same thing as the other boot, where they put a piece of cloth on the seam. So on the last one they had Ferrini all over it. This one they don't. I can't imagine that this seam is going to be uncomfortable for any reason. It feels really nice and soft. It's just, I guess, another way to make the seam seamless. Also, they put a leather piece all throughout the insole. So it feels really nice, and it does, I think, make it more traditional feeling. On the inside, you have also a little sign right here with a little lizard, and it says genuine lizard, and tells you that the boot is made in Mexico. So before we try on these boots, I just want to let you guys know that last time I did the review of the Ferrini, if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. It was really tight and hard to get my foot inside on the instep. I ordered my regular size, which is 12D, and I was almost crushing the counter trying to get my foot in. And once I got my foot in, it was very tight. So I went ahead and ordered a 13D. Naturally, I would have ordered a 12.5, or I would have ordered a 12EE, but unfortunately they did not have any of those. So they do have those up to an 11.5D or an 11.5EE, but once you pass those sizes onto the 12 and 13, you're just going to be able to get a 12D or a 13D. So I went ahead and ordered the 13D and hoped that that would work for the best. So let's go ahead and try these boots on. All right, so here we go. See if I'm gonna be able to get my foot in. Oh, I got my foot in. Okay. All right, well, the instep wasn't a problem, but they are a little bit roomy, a little bit too roomy, but I have a solution. All right, so I'm back with my solution. I have these Anderson Bean square toes that they are in 12D, and they did come with the insoles like this that are about a half a size, or that take up about a half a size. And once I put those in my Anderson Beans, they were a little bit too narrow, or just too tight. So I took them off, and it have a hard leather insole, so I was just fine with them. They fit perfect with the 12D, you know, without the insole. So now I could put these that are about a half a size bigger, or take up about a half a size, and those should just help these boots out just fine. Take up that slack and turn them into a 12.5D. Let's see if they work. Alright, so I felt that little pop. Oh, that feels much better. It's just the right amount of tightness. There we go. Alright, that's how these boots are supposed to fit. And I didn't have any hard time with the instep, so that was a good solution. Alright, wearing my new 20X Wranglers here. Feel great. So here's a side profile. Oh yeah, those feel much better now. Front, top, side, and back. Well, let's get back on the top. So here's my conclusion on these Ferrini Taylor boots. These boots are coming in at $309, and I think that's a great price to pay for a exotic Teju lizard boot that has a one-piece vamp. Usually around this price point, you would get a stitching here with a two-piece vamp. So it's really nice that Ferrini's able to bring you guys this higher end look at only $309. Now, with that being said, I wish there was a few things that they would have done a little bit better, and one of them is the staining on the boot. The staining is not 100% perfect. There's a few little imperfections. Now, that's not something that you really notice unless you look at it up close, and black is a really hard color to stain, especially on an exotic. But I think that's something that will blend in a little bit better as you wear them and kind of polish them with some conditioner. I think that'll kind of blend in and kind of go away. So that's not that big of a deal for me. Now, what is a bigger deal is the counter. I wish they would have done their counter a little bit better. This is a pretty soft counter, and I think that's something that they're looking to improve on in the near future. I know that they have some higher end boots. I don't know if they have a stronger counter, but I think they would need to put that stronger counter on this boot if they do. Now, another thing that I do love about these boots is the steel and the bone color on the stitching on the shaft. I think that's a really cool design right here, and the colors couldn't have been done better. It's really nice with those little X's and that kind of a longhorn design right here. Really cool looking design. Also, another thing that I love about these boots is the square toe, how profiled it is, the end of the toe and everything. It just looks so good. It's really done well. And I love the welt, the fact that it's black on the side and then they got that natural finish over here with the white stitching. I think that really makes that black boot pop. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about how the boot looks and the finish of it. Another thing is, again, the fit of the boot. Like I said, I don't think that's an issue unless you're a 12 or above. You might have to kind of play with it. Maybe that 12 might fit you perfect. Maybe you might have to do some of the stuff that I've done, but you get more of a better fit option once you're 11 and a half or under. So if you like these boots, they do make them in a round toe if you prefer that. I prefer the square toe, but I'll leave the links to these boots in the description down below. If they, for any reason they don't fit, I'm sure you guys could send them back and get your right fit. Now, if you guys like this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more things coming up. And I want to thank you all so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. That is all I have for you guys today. Have a good one.